Writing in the morning, in my mind all day. Sipping herbal in the morning just to feel okay. Had a dream, I was water just flowing through space, till I landed on the record that my grandma would play. Dark sweet like jazz in the park after rain. What a grass smell, green things feel safe. Put the phone on mute, it's silence to blame. I don't need much, just a book in the brain. Used to chase things that were run from me. Now it's sit still, let the peace come free. Paint a verse in the sky with a loose leaf. While the moon do a dance with a soft oak tree. Let it ride, let it be, let it be, let it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on free. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll, let it stack. Got the world out my cup, I'm the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean on facts. If the sun don't shine, I'ma still bounce back. I've been good, I've been gone, I've been lost in the loops. Got a hoodie and some headphones, speaking with truth. Ain't noises in the feed, just noise and flex. But I found God once in a vinyl set. Talk slow when I speak, let the moment stretch. Learn peace ain't found, it's the thing you protect. Yeah, I vibe like water, I change this shit, but the roots still deep like my grandma's grip. City moving fast, but I drift like smoke. At the rhythm of my chest, beat the way I cope. Wrote a song for the days that feel soft and broke. What that feeling don't shout, but it still got hope. Let it ride, let it be, let it be, let it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on three. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll, let it stack. Got the world at my top and the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean on facts. If the sun don't shine, I'ma still bounce back. Let it ride, let it be, let it be, let it be. Got a breeze in my chest and a thought run free. I don't rush, I don't race, I just float on three. Got a vibe in my soul, got a life on key. Let it ride, let it breathe, let it roll, let it stack. Got the world in my cup and the beat in the back. I don't stress, I don't fold, I just lean on facts. If the sun don't shine, I'ma still bounce back.
Like a bartender. All right. Guys, what's good? Good morning, and welcome back to yet another dev stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Desire is orange as usual. Desire, I don't know why you come on orange in the stream, man. I don't know how to even help you. Moses, how comes I don't have any audio coming through here? Oh, you guys are not talking.
She gets a
Okay,
turn.
cool.
Or
You're
we're not
there.
speaking. Yes, now.
Yeah.
I think someone is sabotaging me, so might be you, Iron.
Desire,
Don't know.
desire, bro. Always coming clutch with the tons. How's your morning, desire? How's your week? Let us know. Orange camera's a bit laggy though.
My week has been. I don't know how it's already Saturday. Honestly, it has been a short one. I don't know how we got here.
Yeah. What have you been up to? I mean, have you just existed throughout the week, or what have you been working on?
Um, well, we have been figuring out this first behavior. We're working on. I think we're going to go deeper into it today.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Aldrin are trying to figure out the verse behavior scripting, all that. Yeah.
Aldrin, how's your week been, bro?
My week has been very long. As you can see, Desire is over summarizing. I don't know what week she's been having, but I guess that's where she got the turn from. But she might have been on holiday. I don't know. But the week has been a bit long. There's a lot of moving parts. Also trying to prepare for the stream, make sure everything is actually functional, as we'll take you guys through, and you will see what's been cooking.
Okay.
Okay.
Moses, could you just confirm? Desire's camera looks a bit laggy. I hope it's just on my end and not on the stream. Desire's camera seems to be a bit laggy. Actually, is it Desire and Aldrin? Yeah, your camera seems to be a bit laggy. Mine seems a bit smooth.
The, the skipping.
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a frame drop. A slight frame drop. Oh, but other than that, maybe we could just dive deep into what we're working on today. Maybe Aldrin, let us know what should we expect. Let me go straight to the main screen, I believe. Hope that helps a bit with the lag. Or is it still on there?
I think you can switch between mine and Desire's screen
Okay.
when I'm doing something, working on the exact same map. So when I'm doing something, and you can switch to mine. Then when she's doing something later on, then you can switch to hers.
Alright.
I don't know if the lag is still there with the smaller screens.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
still there?
yeah, it's still there for some reason. We need to
What about
res-
the viewport? Is it fine? Like the actual content, is it also lagging?
No, because
content looks
they're
okay.
still viewing mine. They're viewing my screen, if you can see.
Okay,
So
that's
they will
okay.
have to check. They will have to first turn it to Aldrin's, since we're starting with Aldrin's computer.
Alright, cool. I think that comes out okay now. I'm just removing the effect. Desire is still a bit yellow on this one, but it should be good. Alright, so Aldrin, what are we looking at today?
Okay, so today is we're doing part two of the NPC stream. Last week, Desire did us the honors of doing an introduction to VAS and devices, which I think was quite important for what we're going to be doing today, because it adds an extra layer of complexity to it. And I think it was important that we understand how the two things connect. How do you connect the VAS code to in-game items, and what exactly are devices? What are they used for? Why
Yeah.
should we be concerned about them? And now we're going to take it another step and look at more complex devices that let you have more dynamic behavior within your game. When it comes to, of course, most games that you've actually played, you find that there's, I think from way back when you played that checkers game, from the comp lab, we always had like, even the regular chess games, the versus computer section, whereby you could play against your friend or you could play against the computer. So right now, we're going to be looking at how do you set up the computer in this environment. Of course, this one is a bit more simplified. I'll show you the most basic setup to have an enemy brought in game, how to dictate the enemy's behavior, and also control the difficulty of your island. And then Desire will show us how to do that now with code, because that is her specialty. That's what she gets paid for. So I see she has to, also show her weight or something. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. We have an island set up already. We have some enemies already on the island, but I'm going to first nerf them for now. Then we can set them up real quick. I think should we dive in, or are we first doing some housekeeping?
Let me see if there's any housekeeping to be done. Guys who are joining us on TikTok, guys are joining us on our YouTube. Thank you for coming through. How's everyone's Saturday morning? It seems to be a bit of a cold morning. I think it may be raining soon. For those that are out, please All those that are heading out, please do carry a jacket. And yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. As per usual, we have these every Saturday 10 a.m. These are developer live streams where we get to run you through a bit of the behind the scenes when it comes to the projects that we're working on. Case in point, right now we're looking at our NPC behavior and just seeing how to integrate that with a layer of AI to it. So there's a bit of programming for those who tuned in on the first stream. You got a bit of an idea of what this stream is going to look like, and now this is a part two of that experience, and we'll have Desire Aldrin take us through. So I'll be just quickly stepping away from the stream for a few. I just need to handle something quickly at the HQ. I'll be leaving in the hands of Desire. Hopefully she didn't break anything. But let me just fix Desire's camera. For some reason, it's still giving the vibe.
You guys were saying that I'm tan. I'm brown.
Yeah, what?
It's more dark brown than a tan.
I don't know why Moses didn't. Moses didn't want to work with you. There's
He
something.
he just wants to turn you all the way up to orange.
Yours and some
I-
orange vibes every weekend. I don't know what going. All right, Desire, let's kick off. There's not much of housekeeping. Those that are joining us on TikTok, you can hop over to YouTube if you want a better viewing experience. Derek, I see you. Derek, as usual. But who is Derek? He's always in the chat, but you never see his face. Yet I believe we're in the same building. Okay. Desire, do you have any words for Derek before we kick off?
And Derek, can you come and maybe say hi to the people up this side? Yeah,
Dizzy,
that's what I have for Derek.
Dizzy, there you go, man. There you go. All right, guys, let's carry on. Are we starting with Desire or we're starting with Aldrin? Who's kicking us off?
I will be kicking us off. I think my screen should be the one that's front and center right now. I'll be kicking us off. As much as you're seeing Desire's screen and there's things moving around, I have to come back to mine.
Yeah, I think I'm on your screen now.
Okay. Okay, I'm just doing one small share here for my audience on Instagram, and then we can actually get started. I think that's done. That's up. Okay. So, what are we doing? We have you have a session running, Desire. I think I should also begin a session on my end, just in case. Let me just there's so many changes to check in. I'm seeing conflict resolution. Oh wait, there's no conflicts yet actually, which is good. Okay, so for those of you just joining us, last week, like I said, we did a look at devices. Today we're going to look at non-player characters. How do you configure non-player characters? How do you configure enemies? How do you consider enemies that you can actually? How do you configure enemies you can actually turn to your side? Yeah, you can actually do that too, where you can recruit different kinds of enemies. In this map, we have several setup. I'll just give you a brief overview. This is a test map we created for one of our projects, just to test out a terrain design tool. As you can see, it looks quite beautiful, quite glamorous. It's not me tooting my own horn. Okay, this is me tooting my own horn. Anyway, so within this map, we have a small fortress here, and we want to set up a guard system for it. Yeah. Let me just launch a session real quick so you can run in the background as I show you what devices we're going to be using. Okay, that's a lot to save. Just save all of this. Selected. Save selected. Okay, as that is compiling. So normally you have, like I was explaining earlier, you have enemies in game, right? You have guards, you have bosses. So what happens is we have devices that let us create these different kinds of enemies and then configure their behavior. By configure, I mean set up their behavior so they can react differently to different scenarios. Essentially, a level of intelligence is given to these enemies, and we'll look at that a bit deeper when Desire comes onto the screen. She's nodding her head very enthusiastically as she comes onto the screen. We'll look at that in more detail. But for now, we're going to just look at setting up basic NPCs, creating for them loadouts so they can actually have weapons on hand, and then adjusting things like their perception, their movement speed, choosing what team that they're going to be on. That will determine whether you get to fight them or you fight with them or fight against them. And this can be so helpful in your gaming that it makes it significantly more interesting. What would a game be without, dynamic and interesting enemies? In this case, you can also see how you get to control the strength of these enemies or things like accuracy. Okay, my session is launching. Let me just alt tab back into Fortnite, into FN. Okay, so let's get started. So first things first, you need a device, yeah? So when you go to and say correct me on this.
Aldrin, could you
Yeah.
share your screen on Discord as well? Because I can't see.
Or you can't see what I'm doing.
Yeah, so
just-
you start a stream.
Let me just start a stream on Discord real quick. Share screen, share screen. Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah, better.
Okay, that's dope. Okay, let's minimize
Okay.
Discord by accident. Wait. Okay, we're good now. So yeah, so we're going to look for those devices. So like I said last time, we have a series of assets that are given to us by Fortnite when you're using UEFN. So they're in this section, this folder here called Fortnite. So if you can just go back to the home section, you see this Fortnite bit. Then inside that, we're looking for one particular folder, and that's going to be the one that has devices. Yeah. So like I explained last time, painstaking devices are essentially what would be manifestations of code, like physical representations of your code, yeah, of a certain engine code. So you have this physical representation to help you understand that this works. This can physically look like this within the game. Instead of having just an abstract idea of the code, there's basically an image created and put inside the level to show you that this is the functionality you're trying to create. So there's so many devices. You can see the things in beta. Let me see, these are first-person camera. Oh, this is actually quite interesting. Some of them are from the rocket racing maps, I think. I think we have to try this out Desire sometime, the first-person camera. Yeah, I think for the experiences. Anyway, so we have this AI, you have all your devices, environment, gameplay, different kinds of items, different kinds of logic. So all this is going to be code packaged within something called a device. So you can actually utilize that when you are doing your programming. So let's look at our interest right now since we're doing NPCs. NPCs are AI systems. So we're going to go to the AI section, and then there's a bunch more devices here. So you can see we have the AI navigation modification device, you have the AI patrol path, character device, you have character device controller.
Actually, have to also try out that AI navigation modification device.
Yeah, definitely, because that controls the different how the character gets to move. So you have creature manager, creature placer, creature spawner, guard spawner, sentry, and then wildlife
Is
spawner.
there like a difference between the creature device, the creature NPC device, and the normal NPC device? I think that's something that we had gotten into last night.
I think the distinction is that the regular NPC device just gives you, it's like how you'd see a Venn diagram. Yeah, I've just seen a praying mantis. How you'd see a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
And then in that Venn diagram, the creature spawner device is a subset of the NPC device. So all the other devices are just simply part of that one major device. So what I'm looking for right now, I'm a simple guy. I just want to have enemies within my game to fight against. So I'm going to look at this guard spawner. So I'm going to bring it to my level. So this device, if you look at the documentation, it spawns different types of NPC guards with customizable outputs. So we all know what guards are. Guards protect things. So in this particular case, we're going to have this small fortress and we're going to put a bunch of guards around it. And then we see how they actually perform within the session. So I already have a few actually set up, but I'm going to do this again just because we do care about you guys and it's important that you see how it's set up. Okay, so let's just drag this in. And is there, I'd like you to take note and see what you'll actually have to show us like the variables are going to be changing. You could show us what the verse alternatives for these variables actually are. So let me just drag this in and bring it right here. Okay, so I brought in the guard device.
Yeah.
You can see it looks like that. So again, like I said, this is a physical representation of code. And it's usually very customizable. So how do we customize that? In your details panel, you see there guard spawner 3. Why is it guard spawner 3? Because I already have two other guard spawners, which I'll show you later on. So you have this guard spawner 3. And we have settings here. So set this to all so you can actually see all the settings connected to that particular device. Let me just minimize the world settings section. So let's begin from here. Transform just tells us where exactly it is in the world. You can see this is X, Y, and Z, I believe. X, Z, and then Y. So you can actually be able to see the position of that particular device, where it's set in your world. Then you have the orientation for rotation, same thing. You have the scale of the particular device. These are all just transform properties for size, rotation, and location of the particular device. Then one important setting is going to be guard type. We'll look at that a bit later on. I'm going to come back to it, but it basically sets what character do you want to represent the guard in your game. Yeah? We have a couple of preset characters, but then there's something cool I'll share with you guys at the very end that lets you create your own characters within this particular experience. Then you have the spawn count, extremely important. So the spawn count, as you can see in the documentation here, it sets the number of guards this spawner can have active at any given time. When this spawner activates, it will produce one guard at a time. Islands can have a maximum of 30 guards spawned at all times across at a time across all devices. So what's
But
it saying? It's like,
do they spawn at the same time the phone, like they just appear once the game starts, or it's one at a time, one after one is killed?
no, like you can see here, it says it will produce one guard at a time.
Mm.
Yeah, they produce only one guard at a time. But like this is the maximum number that are actually going to spawn throughout the entire map. So in case you have a level set up, yeah, and you set your guard spawn count to let's say 5, it means that for me to maybe to advance, I have to clear all 5 of them, and no more will spawn. Like that will be it with the guards; they'll be all dead if I
Okay.
clear them out anyway. But essentially, if the maximum is set to 4, when I play through and kill all the 4, there'll be no more spawning. I think that makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So there's options like spawn through walls. Yeah, let me see what that determines whether this AI must spawn within the line of sight of the spawner, or if they can spawn behind obstructing walls. So for example, this is the spawner device, and the question is, can this AI device spawn a character or the guard here? What I mean by line of sight is simply when you stand here, you can't see the spawning device, right? So are guards allowed to spawn somewhere inside here? And I think I usually like to check that on because oftentimes we want to randomize the spawning of the guards, so you don't find them at exactly the exact same locations every time because that kind of gets boring. So enable at game start, yes, to make sure. Obviously, enable at game start to make sure it starts at the
Maybe,
beginning of the
Aldrin,
game.
before we continue, there is someone on TikTok asking what's going on here. Maybe you can just fill them in before we continue so that they know where we are.
Muted. Oh, okay. So let's see. We are creating non-player characters for this UEFN experience. That's exactly what we're doing. I need to get into the TikTok too. I was following along on YouTube. Let me just get back onto the TikTok so I can also see the comments that are there. Where is TikTok? So I can actually follow directly. I need to have this muted. Okay, it's muted. Okay, where are we? We are live right here. Okay. I want the live. I don't know, it's showing me something else. Okay, I can actually follow now. So yeah, what's going on here? We are creating non-player characters for this particular level. Non-player characters are characters within a video game that you don't get to control. Oftentimes they have scripted behavior. Usually they will be enemies. They could be, sometimes they're companions. In this particular case, we're going to see how to set up both. The first category we're working with is going to be guard type, which are obviously enemies in this particular case, or rather we're going to set them up to be enemies in this case. So we've looked at the device within UEFN that lets you, add those add those characters into your game. And that is in this case, it's the guard spawner device. It is found under the AI category because of course these are AI systems. You can bring that into your level, and then we're looking at customizing it and deciding what kind of guards you want to have within our level. I think that sums it up quite nicely. Yeah, so we had looked at the guard type, spawn count, deciding how many of them you want to show up within your level. Of course, this affects the difficulty. If I set this to like the maximum number of 20, it means that I have to mull through all 20 guards for this level to actually be cleared, which is a bit much. So I'm going to leave that at 4 for now to make our playthrough not seem so gruesome. Then spawn through walls, I've explained that. Essentially, it means that these can actually spawn outside the line of sight of this device. By line of sight, I mean behind walls, yeah, different areas. Okay, so let's look at this. Then you have these user options in terms of functionality. I'm going to first look at the advanced. Allow infinite spawn. So this determines whether. Okay, so if you look at this spawn counter, I think maybe I need to clarify that a bit. I think
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think that echo is kind of cleared up. So to clarify this a bit, there's two different variables. So there's the spawn count that is set up here, which I believe is the number of guards you can have simultaneously on screen at any given time. So in this case, it's set to 4. And then there is the total spawn limit, which is how many guards in total can actually come from this particular device. Then there's the infinite spawn. So if it's set to infinite spawn, it means that they'll just keep on coming. Like, despite the fact that you have 4 on screen at any given time, when you clear those 4, more of them will just keep on showing up. Or you can turn that off and set a limit. So let's say if I set my limit to, let's say, 10, it means that once I clear 10 guards, it means there'll be no more coming from this particular device. I think that's the distinction that these two variables will, create. Then you have a character cosmetic, which allows you to set up a particular skin to be representing your guard. Then you have the team options. So within the PvP setup, because you always have the PvPvE, which is the player versus player, then you have the enemy element, you can have different kinds of teams. So you can have maybe sort of like a battle royale where you have 3 teams going up against each other. And with this setting, you can choose which team the guards should be on. Yeah. So there's a team index, and then you can also choose. So there's options of team index. Team index lets you choose based off of the teams you have set up. So if you have, let's say, 3 teams, there's going to be maybe team 1, team 2, and team 3. That's the team index. That's why it's the default setting here. If I turn that off and make it team wildlife and creatures, you see this gets grayed out because now if it's wildlife and creatures by default, they're not going to be on your team. They're going to be doing their own thing, their own wildlife things. So usually I like to leave this on this level for testing because it's much easier to just set it up that way. Then you have spawn on timer. Then this is the timer that's set up too. So every 3 seconds you'll have one spawning after one has met their demise. Yeah. Okay, so you can also set this up. I think maybe Desire, you'll actually look into this. You can also set this up so that if you turn off spawn on timer, you can actually have this set up to spawn at specific events. Yeah. Let me just make sure this doesn't get closed. Yeah. Yeah, my session is already running and it looks like I'm getting haunted by something, but let's just go back to.
First done.
I don't have that. I don't have your changes. So we'll have to switch to your screen to see that. Yeah. So this is I'll tab back. Okay, so let's see where was I. Yeah, so we're customizing this particular guard type and seeing what we can actually get done with them. So use device spawn location. There's so many variables here. Well, so use device spawn location. That means they're going to spawn around this particular area. And these are now the interesting stats. If you look at things like starting health, max health, starting shield, and then max shield. So of course, to adjust the difficulty of your game, you can play with some of these variables. Yeah. For example, you can say your enemy start at a health of, let's say, 100. This is the maximum. And then you can adjust that to have a maximum health of, let's say, set to obviously 100. Then this is starting shields. So oftentimes you try to make sure that to make it simpler, so that these guards are not just bullet sponges. We often start the shields, set the guards' shields at 0. But I'm going to be brave and set this to 100 to create not 1,000. Bit of a challenge. Same thing goes for yeah, someone said bots. Basically, we're making bots pretty much. Pretty much. Then max shields, I'm going to set that also be 100. And then we're going to enable the health bar. So you can actually see when you engage them, you can actually see what kind of damage you're actually doing when you're engaging with them. Then you have what they call the max patrol distance. So this is quite in the patrol section. So patrol means that they don't just stand in a corner. If I turn patrol off, my guards would just stand in some random corner and just be there waiting to pounce on whoever passes in that corner. But if I stand on patrol, it means essentially the AI will actually encourage these guards to like venture beyond where this device is set up, so they can actually move around. Yeah. So if you set up like 30 guards, you find like this place is actually literally swarming with guards. They'll be just moving around randomly, and once they find you, yeah, it's going down. Where is that setting actually? So patrol path group. So there's different, I think we'll look at paths later because you can actually program exactly what path you want the guard to follow. in case you're doing maybe a stealth mechanic. For those of you guys who have played some of those games with stealth mechanics, you find that you're encouraged to observe the patrol path of a particular guard. For example, when I was playing, I'm a huge fan of the Deus Ex games. I failed to finish all of them, but still, I still count as a fan. In I think in both Mankind Divided and Human Revolution, there's a stealth mechanic that you follow. So if you're trying to get from like one point to the next, you have to kind of observe. Let's say this guide's patrol route is, let's say, from the door, maybe down the hall and then to the right, and you'll always keep following that path. So you have to make sure you gauge and then you find hiding points in between and then you maneuver and get to them. So in case you're trying to do a mechanic of that sort, there's a device that lets you, set up that kind of path. It's this particular device, this air patrol path node. It lets you, configure your guides to move like that. Otherwise, outside of that, you can have them just randomly roam around, and that's what exactly we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a free roam situation. Next thing is visibility range. This sets the guide's maximum sight perception distance. So this is the range in which a guide will be aware of you, essentially. Let's say you as the player, if you come within, let's say, 40 meters of this guard, they will be able to perceive your movement or to see you, essentially. So you can tighten this value if you want to have less sensitive guards. Then you can, crank it up if you want to have more sensitive guards, whereby the game makes the game a bit more difficult. Then let me see, visibility range restriction. You can also change some of these values. Then team awareness propagation. If a team is set, guards will propagate awareness to their teammates. So what does this mean? It's like this is a cascade of events. When you are doing a stealth game, and then there's an alert that goes off, and then this guy begins calling his friends and they'll come and attack you. Yes, that's pretty much the same thing. So if you turn that off, it means that there's only one-on-one encounters. If one guard has noticed you, it's just one guard that has noticed you. But if you leave it on, it means that when the one guard sees you, like, it's going to be passed on to the rest of the guards, and everyone is now going to be on high alert, which again is quite interesting. Same thing is for drop inventory and elimination. So normally these guards are packing some heat. So in this case, if you take one down, they drop what they have. You can either turn that on or off depending on the kind of experience you're trying to build. Then you have the accuracy. So this is now ideally what can set up the difficulty of the experience. So if I set this to very high, which I'm going to do, because they're bots, I need to give them a fighting chance. This is giving me a look.
Well, it depends. If you're targeting people who are really skilled in the game, then by all means, make it very high. But if you're trying to meet everyone in the middle, you rather put it on either high or moderate, so that even that person who's a beginner can have a fighting chance.
I hear you. Okay, fine. Let's leave it at high for now. I'll leave it at moderate. Okay. There's despawn guards when disabled. So when this device is disabled, this determines whether already spawned guards remain or are despawned. So this is when you're using VAS to try and connect. Let's say you're trying to trigger these guards using a particular event.
Ivan, your lessons.
So if that event triggered, turns off a guard device, this is the option of does it remove all existing guards, or does it leave them in the level? Okay, then also the option of whether they can actually be hired. This is usually quite interesting. So this means that you can actually, get guards to join you on your side. Yeah, this is quite interesting and can create a very dynamic experience whereby if you hire enough guards, you can have your whole small platoon that can actually go with you and make an experience quite interesting and engaging. Okay, that's a lot of settings to go through. I think we can begin tweaking some. I think we've been tweaking some of them as we go. So I'm going to just maybe push changes and try to see if we can.
Arudem, by the way, I think it lags when you open FN.
Yeah, it's still. Let me just go back there and see. Let's try to test it.
Can
So here
we have another method that we're using?
for maybe doing recordings prior. I want to see if minimizing it might actually help.
Yeah, like when minimizing it. We tried that last time. Did it work?
It did not work.
We had to pre-record last time.
I'm saying first try putting it in Windows.
Let me first reduce the volume from Fortnite. It's quite loud already. So you're saying trying to put it in windowed mode?
Yeah. Did you try it last time? I don't know if it was successful.
it was actually quite. It actually did not work, because for okay, wait. Okay, I have put in windowed mode.
Okay, let's see.
Let's go back and see. Is it laggy?
Yeah, it's still a bit laggy.
How does that actually work?
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Could there be another setting?
Let me just check.
If you can go to, can spend some time on it, see if you can figure it out.
Okay, let's look at let me see this graphics. Maybe I could just lower the preset. I feel like that's supposed to be an issue.
But you know, weirdly, in Discord, it has now started working better. It's no longer as laggy as it was when we were trying it out last night.
Oh. Oh yeah, it was laggy. It was quite laggy last night actually. So I've lowered the quality setting. Let me just turn off DLSS to just make sure our GPU is focused on just rendering the game natively.
Bruce, we're not playing a game currently. We're Desire, what are you working on? Someone wants to know.
Yes, Desire, what are you working on?
Well, we are working on NPC behaviors, and when we say NPC, these are in-game enemies. Like they're usually mostly AI, right? Yeah, so we are working on giving them rules, what they should do once the game starts, how accurate their shooting should be, how they should interact with the player. Like you can see, once it sees a player, it gets alerted, hence the exclamation mark on the head, and it has to attack. Yeah, so that's what we are working on today. We are working on creating it both within UEFN without code, and then afterwards we see, once you give it the code, how does that look like? Yeah.
Aldrin, I want to see. This is a browser, right? Moses, could you help us out here? Aldrin, you muted.
It's still quite laggy, right?
Yeah, it's still quite laggy.
This is a mesh.
This is a browser, right? Aldrin screen. This is a browser.
How are they so aggressive? I haven't even pushed the new
It's a
ones.
URL.
Because they are on very high and
Oh yeah, I said this one's to be very high by default. Let me just
Wait, Aldrin,
you see how
your
you're
screen is
sweating?
okay.
It's what?
Your screen is okay. It's just the.
The game, eh? I don't understand how it's just the game alone that
It's in Windows, yeah. First, drop it again a bit more. First, go back the settings.
There is the settings, eh?
Yeah, first go back the settings. We see.
This guy is smoking again. So I'm going to just reduce this from 1440p to something even lower. I'm going to just 1080.
There's no 1080 there.
1080, yeah, it's not 1080.
First,
But this is the 1350. That then make this windowed again.
let's go through one by one and we see.
How is that?
No, it's still a bit laggy. Not so, but it has actually improved.
Has it improved?
Yeah.
Oh, we're into something. Right? This is why guys play in performance mode. It always nags me.
First, reduce it a bit more. Let's go back to settings.
We could try that actually. Let me just drop it to performance. Direct to performance. Low.
Then
There is a performance mode.
there's something that's tanking it. We need to find out what. Oh, first turn all those off.
Stuff is off. Everything is off. Even this is off.
Keep
All
going.
this stuff is off.
Low.
Apply.
Auto quality set. Remove it from auto.
I don't know why it keeps on defaulting to full screen. Like no one asked for
Remove
that.
the auto quality set from auto.
It's this is just the button to configure it. It's not an auto though. It's set to low. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let me drop the resolution a bit farther.
Yeah.
Sync is off. I don't know why it keeps defaulting back to 1440.
Drop it all.
Anyway,
First, drop it all the way. All the
because
way.
the lowest get to is 720.
Yeah, drop it all the way. Yeah, first. What's that thing of the? That's a monitor,
Yeah, that's a monitor.
yeah? Okay.
Is this a 2K monitor or I think this is the 1080. Let's see what this looks like though. Oh yeah, it has dropped. Is that any better?
Slightly, but not much you can work with, I guess. Let's just working with that, I guess.
No, but it is better. It's not as laggy.
Yeah, it does look terrible though. But anyway, as you can see with my terrible aim, I'm getting smoked by my own NPCs. They are so aggressive. Anyway, let's see how we can create them to be, that aggressive or even less aggressive.
Bruce is asking how long has it been since the project started?
Desire, please care to elaborate?
Well, the project that we are working on has just actually begun. It has been a month in, right? A month of coming up with concept art and testing out a few things. But we have worked on also different projects before. Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to work. I got quite carried away there. So, we're still setting up our new NPC. So this guy, we're going to go through the settings again and look at the different types that are here. So I wanted to go back to one small setting, which is the guard type. Yeah. So there's ghost, there's Gosho, there's shark. So these are the ones these are characters within that are usually associated with being guards. You see that? So I can change that to go through and cycle through these different characters. So you can just see that they all look, a bit different, yeah? There's a toaster there. Trespassers. I think I like the trespassers. They look interesting. Let's leave it at the trespassers, yeah. But like I said,
That gives I mean alien kind of feeling to it.
Yeah. So you have that. Interesting. Okay, this guy's changed the majority of the UI, so I'm wondering. Anyway, it's okay. So we have that set up, and this is what parameters are. So we only want to have let's just make, since they're not so difficult, let me just put 6 of them on screen. I'm going to turn off infinite spawn and make sure there's just like 10 of them at that level. Don't have too many. And I'm going to make them recruitable so you can actually see how that works. Let's see, where's the recruitment option? Can be hired, yeah. So I'm going to just save all of that. And then see how to have these pushed. Do you see the push changes on your end? I'm seeing refresh session now to just validated project, refresh.
No, I only have refresh session.
Is that the new version of push changes? I think ever since we switched to 5.8, we got that different UI.
Yeah, but I saw push changes sometime.
You're muted.
Just next to it. Sorry. I was saying that I'd seen the push changes some time back, even with the new version.
The new UI, yeah, I'm also wondering. But let's see. So then it's still updating the session, so I guess it works all the same. I don't know why they did that. So you can see it's preparing edit mode. Yeah. So just moving
I
around.
don't even have sync. I don't have the sync button.
Not the sync.
No, it doesn't appear. I don't have any changes this side.
I'll come and troubleshoot that. Are you seeing how I can actually see the new added device? It's actually there. It shows up. I'm trying not to move too much so it's not too agitating. Okay.
Shouldn't it be shouldn't it not be appearing while we're playing? It should be invisible.
Oh yeah, it's going to disappear. It should disappear because I think we're outside the game while just doing the update.
Oh, it was still loading.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big Dizzy is lying. The lag on TikTok, I was still seeing a lag on TikTok.
No, it's less. Like
less
it's not
YouTube.
as and it was a lot more laggy at the start before you guys did all those changes.
For some reason, my character is just moving on their own. Okay, finally it stopped. So let's see if... Am I being hacked? Why is my character just moving on their own? Let's see if our device has spawned some guards. Okay, so I'm gonna just collect a weapon just in case because okay, the old guards are still there, aggressive as ever.
Have we
Let's see if
seen the new guard yet?
Not yet. Oh, no, still the old guy. Guys, I'm trying to be a pacifist. Okay,
Ooh, someone has been alerted.
yeah, got one. Got another one. I'm not seeing my new guards though.
Ah, bro, there's so many.
Yeah, they're not that many. The alien guards. Did I trigger that? I have to do another push changes.
Maybe Aldrin, to combat the lag, I'm going to share the let me share the Discord
From
instead.
Discord?
Yeah,
Okay, first try that and we see if we can actually get that out of the way.
that could help.
Yeah. Trying to see if I can get.
You're pushing
see what-
something? Who's
Yeah, I'm
preparing
going to push
content?
again.
Oh, that's Desire. Aldrin, this should.
To see my new guards. Okay, so I'm going to do another push changes and then we see if I can get the new guards in because I'm not seeing the new guards here. As you can see, it's just the old aggressive ones. After I smoke the last guy. Okay, I'm out of ammo. Okay, so let's go back to UEFN and troubleshoot that. So we have this setup. For some reason my editor is also beginning to chug. Let me just look at my GPU.
Yeah, it looks okay this side though. I'm just trying to make sure that I can add a certain display to it.
Okay, card is barely doing anything, so I don't know why it's fine. Okay, so we have this setup here, but I'm wondering why we don't have them spawning in game. So I'm going to do a save and then try to update again and refresh the session twice because sometimes there's usually a bit of lag between when you save and add new content. So I'm going to just push that again. Preparing local content, compiling verse.
I'll just crop these.
Okay, so it's updating the session. Hopefully this time after the update gets through, we can actually be able to see what that looks like. Okay, it's updated. That was quick.
Aldrin, could you go to just the UFN map? I just want to see something. Okay.
I'm in the map already.
Alright, cool, I see you.
Is that any better?
So I'm just going to create a duplicate it. Guys, just give me a second. I'm just trying to make sure that we don't have a lag as we are viewing. Okay, I think that's better. I just want to copy paste this. So whenever you push changes and we're viewing them, you always let me know, such that I can just set that up for you here real quick. Let me just fit this to screen, fit to canvas. Just drag it in front. Yeah, we'll just do something of that sort. So just keep blinding it and unblinding it.
It's better. It works. It performs better.
Yeah, it performs better. Okay.
Can I crank up my visuals or I leave them as they are?
You can.
Okay, I think I'll have to adjust those. So let's get back to this. I'm not seeing them still.
Aldrin, have you been able to see your new NPC?
No, I'm not seeing many NPCs.
Could you maybe first drag us back to where we were? Just because I've just gotten this fixed, it would be good to just give
another update.
Yeah, let's just get a bit of an idea of where we are currently and what we're working on, such that those that are just joining us can be able to get a bit of an understanding.
Okay, so what we're doing right now, someone summed it up quite well on the TikTok chat and said bots. So basically, we're making bots essentially. We're creating non-player characters that you can verse within an experience. Because, like I said, any good experience requires you to have some level of challenge to it. So within UEFN, we have what we looked at last time, which are devices. And amongst these devices, we have AI-enabled devices. And in these AI-enabled devices, you have devices that let you create these non-player characters. Right now, for us, we're using what they call the guard spawner device, which spawns characters with guard-like behavior. So what does that mean? They have patrol routes. They are inherently defensive. So if you set them to the appropriate team, they'll always attack members of the opposite team by default. They also have health stats. They have accuracy stats. They have damage stats. and you can modify all of these basing on the difficulty of the game that you want to actually achieve. So right now we just added this particular class.
So that's a
I'm going to
bot.
first- Yeah, this is a device that spawns this particular kind of bot. You can adjust the cosmetics as you want, but there's a couple of options that are there by default. I'm going to go with this one for now, but you can see as the default that was there, but I'm going to be using the trespassers. So this is a bot. Now, we can control how many of them we want to have in the level. So for example, we can say at any one time we should have a spawn count of 6. That's 6 of them roaming around the level at any given time.
Yeah.
Then you can have a total spawn count. Let's say, for example, this particular level should have a total of 10. So once you eliminate all the 10, this device will not bring out any more of those devices. And then again, maybe with the capability of VAS, you can actually have them triggered. So for example, if you're doing a stealth game, I give that as the best example. You can have stealth mechanics set up in that maybe when a person goes maybe in the view of a particular camera device or a drone, this particular device gets turned on and then a bunch of guards are spawned in and then they, head towards the player as an objective. You can also have that set up. They also have patrol control, so you can actually control their patrol routes and how they move about in the world and in the environment. So what we have done is to set up this particular character. We've given them a decent amount of starting health, just set to 100. Maximum health of 100, you give them starting shields. We allow them to have a health bar so that you can know when you're doing damage and how much damage you're doing. We enable them to patrol so they can actually be able to move around. They don't just stay static and stand here. I think you've seen some of those experiences whereby whenever you pop in, the guards are at the exact same location. In this particular case, it's a bit randomized, so you won't know exactly where they're going to come from. And I think that adds a certain layer.
Also, they could spawn from wherever.
Exactly, that's the thing. So despite the device being here, you can have one spawn from maybe somewhere up here.
Okay.
Those are like the rules that you've actually set up for them.
So this is the device, not how the bots look, right?
This is the device, and this is how the bot will actually look.
Okay.
That's why I kept on checking whether my bots had actually arrived. I'm trying to see if there's a setting that I might have missed. I think it's maybe the spawn on timer. Is that what I might have left out?
It's not ticked, it's not selected.
Yeah, it's not selected. I'm going to just enable that. Show spawn radius is fine. So you see this spawn radius section? It shows you within which area they can actually spawn. For example, if you look at the wildlife device, you see this blue haloing. That's a wildlife device. I believe it controls the foxes. I have a bunch of foxes, the wolves. A bunch of wolves around here. And this shows you the bounds of their territory. So if you enter that particular territory, you're going to encounter them. Of course, on the player side, they don't.
Sorry to interrupt you guys, but our live stream on TikTok has ended.
Oh no, it's okay. I worked on that. We're good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can just refresh. We should be good. We should be back up now. Just give it a second. Alden, Karen.
Yeah, so essentially they have that spawn radius so they can actually spawn within, but the player doesn't get to see that when they're playing the game. It's us who know exactly where they're set up. So I've enabled the spawn on time a bit and it's set to 3 seconds. So I believe 3 seconds, I think from the commencement of the game, we should have these guys spawn.
3 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the objective?
So essentially right now, I just have to set up the team size. So I've set them to team wildlife creatures. So essentially the objective is just to brutally murder me when I'm within their perception. But ideally, you can, again, depending on the narrative of your particular quest, or in this particular case, you can set them up to defend a particular thing. So you put them close to it, you give them a spawn radius around that very same thing. Maybe when someone clears all of them, they can actually get, and that's where the verse actually becomes useful from. You can say this section or this, I don't know, dungeon, this portion closes off until you've eliminated maybe 20 guards, then you can actually progress to the next section. 20 guards feels quite grindy though, but I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going to push these changes now. Hopefully that was the problem. Let's see, let me just double check.
Or for those that are joining us, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Arudem. Right now, Aldrin, in simple terms, has worked on an NPC, set up its, its behaviors, and how it should react in game. And we're looking at where it's spawning and what it should do after spawning. So we've set it to 3 seconds, 3 seconds from spawn time, 3 seconds from kickoff of the game. It should be able to now interact with the environment that we've dropped it into. So we'd want to see that visually running in game in real time. So he's launching a session now.
Okay, so I'm pushing the changes. I hope this actually flows. So I'm going to switch in no time, but I'm going to first adjust my visual settings. I don't like that funny fidelity of 720p. It's very discouraging in 2026.
I get you. I get you. Makes sense. We need to really figure out what's causing that lag. Maybe, anyway, we could have a bit of a long-term fix. May not be something we can fix in real time now, but
We could also try with other games and see if it persists, or if it's just Fortnite.
true. There's some bit of
Because
troubleshooting.
yeah, so I've switched to that screen. Let's give it a second. It's still pushing changes, but we try and see what it looks like as I adjust
Okay,
my visual
just
fidelity.
let me, as you're doing that, let me just put up, because there's a screen I'm putting up temporarily, such that we are able to. Okay. Just copy this. Copy effects.
Setting up a different stream screen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to see that we can have a similar blend. Just give me a second. Paste. Okay. All right. So I believe this
It
should.
looks a bit better on TikTok now.
Yeah, it's because I have. It's because I have the other screen up.
Mm.
I've already set it up, so the main screen is in the back. It's in the background.
Oh, that's actually dope. So what you're doing right now is you simply put the Discord somewhere, and then you're channeling that to the
Yeah,
stream.
to the stream. Yeah. So when it's done, we'll just go back to when you're back to engine, we should just blind it.
Yeah, that's a nice workaround. That's a nice workaround. Okay, so I think it's pushed those changes. I hope we get to see those guards in.
So before
Again,
before before that happens, what's the plan here? So 3 seconds in.
oof, as you can see, so they are already patrolling.
Okay, they're
And
there.
if you can actually see them.
Yeah, they're spawning in. They're all just spawning in.
Yeah, I have three types of guards here. These are the only recruitable ones, and they are so aggressive. They've already you can see them spawning.
How comes there's so many? And you're solo.
Yeah, I am just being housed at this place if I can get a weapon or something. So like I said, depending on the difficulty that you want to have, guys, I need to play more Blitz so I can actually look good while playing the games that I make. Because I
Have
keep
we
getting
found our NPC?
bots. Yeah, they actually, yeah, these are the ones that are
All right. I think
yeah,
the time of day. Oh yeah, I've seen them.
they're not very visible. So you can see they have shields like we set up, and they have,
Yeah, but why are they so many? There's a bit of an echo. Desire, could you? Are you listening to something? Oh, maybe reduce your gain a bit. Just reduce it. Dial it up. Dial it down. Aldrin, I think there's so many. Could you reduce them?
No, but also if you reduce the accuracy, it will give you time to actually shoot them. Take it down to moderate. I know you want it high, but please take it down to moderate.
to something more manageable. So you see what I've done? I set the spawn count to be 6. So at any given time, there'll be 6 of them on the screen. That's the challenge now. What I want to demonstrate is the fact that they're recruitable, but the problem is that these guys shoot fast and ask questions later.
Can we predict? Can we also predict the time of day such that we are able to see?
Yeah, let me lock that in. Let me see. That should be island settings if I'm not wrong, because you can lock that in to make sure it's easy to see. So the daytime cycle manager zero ratio. Is it this?
Let's look it in today.
It's a different areas. Is that in project settings? Window. The preferences should be here. There's a device that lets you change that. I think it's the wall, the leather.
There's someone asking whether Bro is doing a Fortnite map.
Yeah, it's pretty much a Fortnite map actually. Let's see. The island settings 0. So it's right here. Let's look at that time of day and see if it's actually here. So max players, for all, public only. Spending next round, team settings, relationship. Scoring, see voice chat, text chat. Okay, let's get that out of the way.
Oh, you're in UE right now, right?
I'm in UEFM
What I
right
mean,
now. Still,
Unreal Engine still.
yeah, I'm still in the engine. That's
Okay. You're working time of day. You're fixing the time of day issue.
Yeah, setting it up to like 12 p.m.
Okay.
12 a.m.
So
12 p.m.
you're looking into that.
Is it 12 a.m.? What's noon?
PM. AM
When is
is midnight.
Okay. Cool, cool.
There comes our programmer coming clutch with the numbers.
Did I remember a timekeeper in high school?
Matter of fact, yes, I was.
I suspected. Suspected.
Wait, by
Alright.
timekeeper, you mean that I kept time, or I was like,
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's all good. It's all good. No need. No need. That was a rhetoric
I
one. Yeah.
was never.
That was a rhetoric. That was a rhetoric. All right, guys, that's good. For those that are joining in on TikTok, thank you for coming through. This is our game development live stream. We're live every Saturday 10 a.m. where we take you behind the scenes on some of the projects we're working on. So currently, we're trying to set up our NPC behavior. We're trying to show you how we shall be modeling our NPCs and working on the various their characteristics in game and how would want them to interact with the environment in which you would have put them in. So if you're joining us on TikTok, you can also jump over to our YouTube. You'll be able to get a better experience because you look at the entire, you get to see the entire engine. Larry saying that FPS is, yeah, we had a bit of a challenge with the we're broadcasting it, yeah. So what we've done is that whenever we switch over to, whenever we get in game, we'll be putting on a secondary layer and you'll be able to see it more smoothly. It may not be clear, but at least it will be better smooth. And hopefully in the streams to come, we'll work on that. Ray, thank you so much for the follows. Appreciate you. Yeah. Let me see if there's anyone on YouTube saying anything. I don't believe so. All right. Cool. Derek, stroke your beard. I don't think Derek. Jesus Christ, man. All right. Desire, look in. Come on. Look in.
Okay, so I've set them to be 3, and that's set up nicely.
Okay, so we have 3 NPCs. We have 3 NPCs, and their goal is to just, the objective is to basically kill you, right?
Pretty much. So we can also set them up to actually go against each other if we set up teams, different kinds of teams. So I have one spawner device here for this strange alien type. Then I have another spawner device here for these guys. These are the most aggressive ones.
Yeah.
And I believe there should be another.
Do they look different? Are they looking different? Do they?
Yeah, I get them very different skins.
Okay,
I think I want to
cool.
also talk about that rabbit hole, I think, and show you guys what is actually possible. Let me see, that's 3.
Could
No,
we?
this one is giving Splinter Cell vibes.
Yeah, because of the
Dia hasn't
little-
played Splinter Cell. Let's not kid ourselves here, please. She has heard of the IP, but I don't think she's played. You've played a Splinter Cell game.
Yes.
Desire, could you?
Then how would I know?
Daryl, could you ask Desire a Splinter Cell question for us to know whether she's actually?
Why do guys always have to do this? You can't just
No, that's
take
not
it.
the case. Male or female, bro. This is not the time for that. But Desire, you're now scapegoating and using
No. Honestly,
you're dropping
Cooking us, disarming us.
you're dropping a gender bar. Not in 2026, Desire. We've moved on. All right, guys. Before we dive deep into what Aldo and what you're working on, could you just give maybe an in real time experience where those that are watching have experienced NPCs? Because I know it's a term that's used, and I believe there's a movie on it. Could we just describe what NPCs are, such that we are able to, whoever is watching gets to know exactly what we're working on? Because if you just say NPCs, it could be a bit generic, but I believe there's a movie about NPCs that we can reference that I hope Isaiah watched. Then there are also NPCs in a few popular games like GTA. Maybe could you just use that as a bit of a reference, such that whoever is watching gets a bit of an idea of exactly how whatever we're developing, how is it relevant when it comes to the gaming industry, and how best can we also leverage it down the road?
Okay, so essentially, non-player characters
Yep.
are, it's in the definition itself, right?
Yep.
Non-player characters, like these are characters within the game that you don't get to control, or no one actually gets to control. These are non-player characters.
Yep.
Now, what's the point of a non-player characters?
Yep.
First first one is always immersion. If you look at the old GTAs, even up to now, it's to make the game significantly more immersive. If you weren't the GTA streets and it was just you and your quest and the empty streets, it would not be as immersive, right?
Yeah.
So you have these non-player characters just for immersion. That's like the baseline level. Then the next one is also for the narrative of the game. So you can have different non-player characters that are there to advance the narrative of the game. So you think of all the times you've interacted with the different NPCs that give you quests, the ones that you make trade with, the ones that are going to maybe even the games, let's say antagonists or something like that, they could actually be non-player characters. Then you also have the ones that are supposed to add a level of challenge to the game. That could be things like guards, essentially even almost of the enemies. So what happens is that since these are complex systems, they're supposed to work autonomously, essentially. Their behavior is programmed on the back end, then they're put in the game, and then they're supposed to react to obstacles. You've talked about GTA, and if you look at the evolution of GTA as a whole, we've gone from NPCs that just simply, walk the streets to those that usually have responses when you bump into them, to now when they have, I think the new Fable game that they just launched, apparently NPCs there have like literal life quests. Like when the NPC says they're going to, the market or something, they actually go to the market, something like that. So what happens here is that you have a new layer of immersion added to the game itself for just using these non-player characters. So right now within the map we're creating, it's a point of you want to have points of contention within the game or a challenge that's given to the player. So you're given a set of devices that let you kind of like create that that kind of look. And even maybe this is the bit I want to go through first before we hand over to Desire to show us what the VAS end of this looks like and how you can extend the functionality of most of these using VAS. Is since this is limited to the cast of Fortnite characters, someone would think that since it's a UFN map, you only have the cast of Fortnite characters to actually work with, but that's not really the case.
Yeah.
When you come here, Unreal Engine has a tool called MetaHuman. I think it was launched. Let me just give you guys use Google as my crutch.
Aldrin, as you're doing that, because I don't leave the point of NPCs, because I think there's still something we haven't digested there. Those that are asking NPCs, first of all, non-playable characters. These are, for example, when you jump into the game, there are people that you see around within the environment besides you as a player. So let's say playing Red Dead, you're playing GTA. As you're walking through Vice City, the particular characters that you either bump in, some of the individuals that you knock, some of the individuals that you maybe pick up as you're playing, most of these are non-playable characters. And we're showing you how these characters are programmed in the game. And maybe to just give you a better reference, if you've watched a movie called Free Guy, Free Guy is, I think, a really good example if you're trying to understand the entire NPC ecosystem. I believe Free Guy is the best example. Maybe Aldrin can look it up there before we go to MetaHuman.
Have you seen Free Guy?
I think she's watched it. I recommended that. I'm sure she watched it. So Free Guy, I would recommend if you want to just understand the whole digest around NPCs and what they are and how relevant they are when it comes to the gaming industry. This is a movie I'd recommend you to watch. You'll just get a bit of, a better feel of how these NPCs behave and how they set them up for the most part. And if you have any question about what we're working on, guys, let me know so that we can just dive deep into that. King, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. Bruce, yeah, we're showing you, we're using Unreal Engine, which is linked to Fortnite. So we're launching our game sessions within Fortnite. So most of the assets and products we're developing are going to be experienced within Fortnite. So I can tell why maybe Shakim was asking if this is Fortnite, because there's a bit of a similarity in engines. And yeah, those that are sharing, I really appreciate you. King, thank you so much for the share, and thank you for coming in. Yeah, Free Guy is relatable, though the NPC became conscious in some kind of way. Yeah, I think that's the whole point of the movie, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll definitely recommend, if you don't get a better idea of what NPCs are. Thanks, Evan. I was totally lost with the whole NPC thing. I hope you get it now. I hope you get what NPCs are. And this particular stream is a part 2 of our stream last weekend, where we get to show you how these NPCs are programmed, and there's a layer of code to it. Plus, there's also a bit of a visual layer to which I believe Arudem was going into when he pulled up the MetaHuman page. So Arudem could just dive into that and then maybe take some questions after that.
Yeah, sure. So what I was saying is, again, on the topic of Fortnite, people tend to undermine how much. Oh, that's programmed differently from my settings. People tend to undermine how much flexibility you have within Fortnite and UEFN.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that beyond this cast of characters that you have, because there's a whole collection of characters, there are actually so many. I feel like guys at Epic do not sleep. I'm just showing you guys the list. So if you
Something
come to
our
Fortnite,
developers should buy into, but it is what it is.
do we look well rested?
Desire
Yes,
looks well rested. Her hair looks fine. Dizzy right now must be in bed.
It's all in the gene, so yeah.
All right.
Oh, apparently, it's all in the gene. So this is a cast of characters, all handcrafted by the Fortnite team. So you can use any of these characters as
As
your
NPCs,
NPCs.
yeah. Someone's asking what's the topic about. Like we mentioned, the topic is about NPCs. Today we're looking at how do you get NPCs into your game, and we're also exposing you to how these NPCs are programmed and also visually. Now, I'll just showing us how they visually look, so you can pick up some of these characters to the asset class, or you can maybe develop some of your own, which is something we're looking into. Would love to get some of our characters and put them in the game as NPCs. So there's a layer of design and animation and illustration that has to be done. Then you transfer them in game, but that's just the first step. The second step to kind of make everything work now is where you put in the line of code which design has to show us, and then we look at how they're reacting and experiencing the environment. Muines, I hope I've answered you. In case you have any other follow-up questions, please do let me know. And guys, we're also live on our YouTube. If you'd want a better viewing experience, I believe you can tune over to our YouTube, Arudem Gaming, across all social platforms. YouTube, I think, is a better POV in case you'd want to see more of the in-engine details more clearer. So you can head over there just in case. I'm just
Okay,
biased.
so you
Okay. Someone's saying I'm just biased towards Fortnite. For sure, man. I mean, preference comes in there. Personally, I'm a Call of Duty player, so I can tell. Aldrin, you showing us something?
Yeah, so I was still saying, again, still addressing the best towards Fortnite. I feel like that there's, even me getting into this, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, you kind of tend to not, sometimes you tend to have a bias because you don't know enough about the particular platform.
True.
I think I've been scrolling for a whole minute and those are just characters made for Fortnite, like, which is insane. But on top of all of this functionality, you can actually have your own characters brought into the game directly. So Epic has this tool called MetaHuman. I just wanted to show you what that looked like, whereby you can actually create these high fidelity digital humans within the MetaHuman platform. So it works directly in vanilla Unreal Engine. You go to that. I think they integrated that too. So there's a MetaHuman creator.
What's vanilla Unreal Engine? I hear you using the term a lot.
I use that for whenever I talk about UE5 directly, like this, the big bad, the actual, the real big bad. So within there, we can, there's they integrated the MetaHuman creator, which lets you create custom characters from the ground up.
Okay.
So you can pick a body size, you can pick a face, and in the last, I think, couple of releases coming up to 5.8, they allow us to actually have characters you've modeled, let's say in ZBrush or in Blender, you can turn them into MetaHumans, which is kind of insane if you think about it. It means that your stylized character from your concept artist can actually be turned into a MetaHuman, and you kind of like leapfrog the entire rigging stage, and you have a functional character from the jump. As long as you've done your topology quite well, you get a functional character. So what does that look like in Fortnite? So you can see some of these examples here. And if you look at some of the modern games that are being released, for example, Witcher 4, they take advantage of this MetaHuman tech to create for us those lifelike NPCs and main characters and whatnot. So we can also use this very same tech within Fortnite. So how does that look? I'll just give you a free sample here.
Does this have any layer of code to it, Desire? Like, does MetaHuman have a layer of code written to it, or that comes in way after when you're trying to interact with what you've developed?
It comes in after. It comes in after. Because ideally, what we're trying to get from MetaHuman is going to be just the skin, essentially. Then you can now bring that back here. So just to show what guys one of them looks like. So if you come to the Windows section here, there's a MetaHuman importer, and hopefully I'm pre-signed in.
Desire, is this something you've interacted before, like from a code perspective?
Not yet. We hadn't yet tried it out.
Okay.
But these are now presets. These are character presets that you can actually bring into UEFN. So these are realistic characters. Instead of having to be locked into the default Fortnite
Can we
style.
import them now, or it's still a bit?
There's one I already have downloaded. I don't want to deal with the bandwidth, so I already have one on hand. The one that I was experimenting with, I think I'll have to share that in a separate video. Let's see, devices. Let's see. One, if you look at MetaHumans,
Nice.
I have one called Dax.
Okay.
Then you can just bring Dax in game, and then you can take a look at him.
Weren't we using him as our NPC?
Our guinea pig, because there's some conversion in between that I haven't done yet, but
Oh, so I have to model him until he's not yet modded fully.
he's ready for work, but there's some linking in the back end,
Okay.
which I'm going to source to desire, but like that will be work for another live stream when you can actually see him running around. But ideally, let me just get some light on his face.
Please start. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming through.
So you can look at the contrast between a character like this one and the regular ones that we're used to. Yeah, I have actually cooked him. He's now orange. Let's just maybe not cook him like that. Just take this a bit far. I think it's just set to a very it's set to 51.
Yeah, reduce the
It's
brightness
low.
of it.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
So you can actually see that. And this is with the emphasis. Look at the scalability here. This is set to high, this is set to epic, so you can actually see what he actually looks like. So you can see this is a full high fidelity character, and this is in Fortnite. So with enough backend, you can make sure that this aesthetic is what tends to actually appear here. The rigging and everything else will just simply be matched. So despite the fact that you see it's just Fortnite, you can actually customize it to get a look that you want. For example, even if you're just looking at this particular landscape that you see here, this is not like a casual Fortnite landscape. All of this is like essentially handcrafted.
You
So
got
the
this from
terrain-
you did this in vanilla UEFN and then vanilla UE.
No, this is done in a software called Gaia. It's a
Okay.
world building software.
Okay.
So it lets you, generate these height maps
Yeah.
for like mountains and craters and stuff like that. And then you can get those height maps and then introduce them into UEFN. And then you create a landscape material that lets you blend them seamless. So you can have, let's say, like this rock crevice that blends into this riverbed and stuff like that. So despite the fact that it's a Fortnite tool, at the end of the day it's still powered by Unreal Engine. So you still have access to a bunch of tools before you even get to the simple stuff. The good thing about it is like we've talked about over these different streams is that the barrier to entry is it's really lowered compared to like Unreal Engine directly.
True.
That's why I often tend to encourage, if you want to get into game dev and you feel like the ceiling is too high of, let's say, I have to learn Godot, I have to learn this thing, just begin from Fortnite. Just begin from there. You'll get used to most of the mechanics. Visual scripting is quite easy.
Yeah.
Even Versus, as we'll come to see, it makes a lot of sense out the box. So you can start from there, and then maybe once you're comfortable in this environment, you can now move to things like Unreal Engine directly. Okay, so I think I already did the other fix of reducing the number of
Of NPCs.
of these boats that are spawning, because they're overwhelming.
Yep.
Save that and let's go back to our level. So you can see we now have just 3. And if you
Okay,
can
one
see
sec.
there-
Let me just put you back on here. Okay, there we go.
So I think I'm outside their range of perception right now. That's why they're not doing anything.
Before you move in, I think let's take this a bit slower for those who will be tuning in for the first time, and it's aggressively important for us to look at this and get to appreciate it. Obviously, what we're looking at there, could we point out where the NPCs are and what they're currently doing before you move in and interact with them?
If you look at the dudes that are moving in the foreground,
Yeah.
I think, is it the foreground? I think technically it's the background. So you see how they're actually patrolling the environment. They don't just stand there still. So all that is behavior that has been programmed in from the dials that we're adjusting back and forth. So one, we set only 3 of them to spawn. That's the first thing that we did. Second, we set them to have a patrol radius. So they won't just stand in one particular corner. They'll actually move around. And then they have what they call a perception radius. So if I am outside of their perception radius, despite the fact that I can see them, they
still can't
perceive.
engage with you, which you see a lot. We see a lot in so many games. Like, I mean, I haven't played a lot of RPGs in a while, but when you see, I'm sure when you see some of these RPGs like Assassin's Creed, before you, okay, that has actually seen you. Yeah, he saw you. So they have that bit of proximity where they'll only attack when they get to see you, which I believe is happening now. So are they all now coming towards you?
Yeah, there is a setting where you can enable whether the alert status is shared across all the different enemies.
Oh, okay.
I give an example of stealth mechanics. Let's say you're playing a stealth level and one guy spots you. So the setting is, if one guy spots you, does he alert everyone else, or does it just be that one guy? So in this particular case, it is that when one guy spots you, all of them will go on high alert, not just that one particular one. That's why you saw only one saw me, and then they all began shooting. So again, like I said, depending on the difficulty of your experience that you want to actually build. So now I'm technically cooked. As long if I get beyond this, as you can see, the accuracy is set. Yeah.
isn't it supposed to stop shooting if you hide? If it can't see you for a while?
Actually, yeah, ideally they should have a way of, let me first check the editor and see if there's a setting for that. Because ideally, you're able to adjust how long the alert state remains on, because you want them to actually chill after some time. So let me see if there's a setting like that. So patrol distance, 10 meters. So you saw how they're moving around? So their max patrol distance is only 10 meters. We can increase this to like 20. So they can actually go farther and farther. This adds but a bit of variety because you have chance encounters. You will find them where you didn't expect to find them. I want to see if I can actually visibility range, restriction only when unaware. Team awareness, this is what I was talking about, the team awareness propagation, where if one guy spots you, all of them will actually,
How come they're not coding these at all?
That's what Desire is going to show you now.
Okay.
Because what we've actually found is that there's two ways of doing most of these things. You could either do them with VAS, of which is just going to take us through what these variables actually look like on the back end.
Yeah.
And what the difference is between what I'm doing here, which is very simple, which is basically a guard character, and what the custom ones actually look like. I think she'll have the remaining 30 minutes because, yeah, sorry, Desire, you're going to get enough time. Someone asking whether Desire can say something. Mwina, do not worry. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
So, to answer Ivan's thing, these already have code in them. Just that the code that they have, the ones that Aldrin has created, the code is already predefined. It's already predefined behavior within UEFN that you choose between.
Okay.
Either you want to do that thing or not. Yeah.
Okay. But then if you want to customize it deeper, that's when I have to get into VAS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Understood.
Yeah, I think you can actually see it from here. You see how there's different user options. So for example, what we're looking for, it's easier to customize fast because you can see these are now events. And there's an event that happens when they're alerted, when the target is lost, which I would be the target when I go out of view. So it can be customized using VAS. So again, I think maybe the question we were having last night, we were talking about how much VAS lets you extend the functionality of what's already given in UEFN. You can see that there's a lot of it here that I believe is mostly doable using what? Using VAS. Okay, let me see. Desire, are you ready? Do you think you can take us through in the next 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just take care of these bots and then, yeah, I'm just, so like I said, there's supposed to be 10, right? So let's do a kill count. They haven't even spotted me yet. I'm just trying to see if I can get a weapon here. I don't like that. They have spotted me. But the good thing is they have shields. That's the problem. Makes it a bit
They have
tricky.
shields?
Ow. Yeah, they have shields. I'm going to set that up, but I'm suffering with it. Okay. Okay. Okay, there's these ones too. And there's like bullet sponges. I set them to a really, really high difficulty for no reason.
And I hope this teaches you to listen to me at some point. Because I warned you.
I will listen, but like,
You're up for the challenge. Oh, Derek! Derek, come and say hi.
but like, okay, I'm getting washed, you guys, by bots. Derek, thank you. This is not my element.
And the Derek they were calling up.
There he
I
is.
actually have no. See, I don't suck that. I see cleared. Are you seeing, you guys? So the thing is that the way these ones are programmed is that they actually play like actual players. They're not just going to camp and wait for you. They'll actually look for
I
you.
doubt they play. Okay, playing like actual players is a little bit of a stretch. They play as excellent players. There is no
What do you
balance.
mean?
If you roll into a map, right, you'll find a balance of different players. Those that are really good, those that really suck. You know.
This is there
So you
never
have
been
to-
rushed on a Fortnite map. Just if you're not strategic, you won't even last. Like,
That's what I'm trying to say. But these ones put you on the other end of everyone is good, and you have to.
they're all
Like,
good. But they don't even
Exactly.
maxed out. So imagine if I cracked out the accuracy to very high and then give them shields and health. We'll be here for a while. It'll be like a very grindy. Okay, let's change that. Okay, so Desire is going to take us through how to set up the NPC devices using VAS, the different variables involved, what the benefits actually are, and Can I take two at once?
Yo, how much
That's so
else did you give them? Ah,
Bro, they are sponges. They have shields. That's the problem. No one ever gives NPCs shields.
so normally, let's say you put in things like a headshot multiplier and things of that sort.
Stuff like that, yeah. So I think you can choose those kinds of things and customize them. Bruh. Bruh. And are you seeing that? They have like the health bar on top.
Yeah.
So once you clear the shields, I'm actually out of ammo. Like, this is serious, guys.
They don't
This
drop
game-
anything.
These ones do. I think they do drop. Yeah, they do drop. All the guns I'm picking up right now from them. Because they set up that setting of drop inventory on what? Elimination.
Hmm.
I've just cleared the shields of that guy. After all that, I just finished the shields. Our metahuman is just here chilling.
Why aren't they getting done though?
Because it's set to 10 and I can't seem to. Okay.
Wow.
And you can see they have like shields. So, yes, reloading. Let's try to just do some guerrilla warfare here. I'm out of ammo completely. Okay, that's all right. Let's call it a day. Let's call it a day. Desire, please take us through. So you can switch to Desire's screen perhaps, and then she can show us what she has for us as you suspected.
Alright, Didi, there you go.
Okay. Basically, what I'm going to cover within verse will be the navigation. Some of the things that Aldrin chose to do on the
Desire,
other side.
I think we need to turn off your. We just need to turn off something. One sec.
You just go showing the overlays, yeah? You need to turn them off. Is your Discord, right?
Yeah.
Let's go. Notifications. I can't see it, but oh yeah, game over there. Yeah, it should be okay. Okay. Should be good now. It's a bit slow.
Thank you. So, what we are working on today is the NPC behavior script. We saw how Aldrin was controlling his NPC behavior earlier, and it was through this outliner over here, through the details panel rather. Over here. Wait, you're still showing Aldrin's screen. Is it my screen?
It's your screen.
Being shown?
Yeah, it's your screen.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So this is where you are doing your behavior script. But with Verse, there's a way you can actually do it. You just have to come up into your content drawer. The Verse script, the Verse NPC behavior script enables you to tell it what to do through code, and then after that, we shall connect it to the what's it called? The character definition, so that it's like an asset and you can just give it to different NPCs of your choice. It can keep on being reusable. So, how we shall do that is we shall come up here in our Verse Explorer and I had already created two of them. The first one was Aldrin, the second one was Ivan. So we're going to create a third.
Oh my god, Desire.
Yeah.
Come on, Desire.
I think the third will be Derek.
I expected
maybe.
better, man.
Derek is a true word.
Yeah, the original. So our NPC behavior, you get it from, you choose a template from here, and let me just create one.
Captain, I've seen your follow. Thank you so much. CYP. Thank you for the follow too, guys. I appreciate you guys for coming through.
Aldrin, I hope the way I'm naming them is okay. It's not as confusing. Take one, take two, take three.
Yeah. Yeah,
the push
sure.
changes button is finally here, but I'm not going to do it yet, just in
Okay.
case. So we have our behavior script that we have created. I'll open it up real quick so that we can push and save the changes. So within our code, we are telling it, so the other side, you are telling it the radius that you wanted it to take, right? As it was patrolling. This side, you get to
Could you
control
try
it this side.
to, Lisa, could you try to like scale up the text a bit so it's significantly more visible?
Control plus, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see getting bigger.
Okay.
Slightly
So,
more, slightly more.
okay. So we had talked about the editable bit in the last stream, being able to edit some of the things that are already pre-given
Yeah.
and giving them the values that you want. And in here, we're also going to use we're using the navigation API that will enable us to tell our NPC where to go, which distance to take. For example, go to point, it's in a loop. This is a condition statement, and it's also in a loop. I don't know, I'm trying not to get into so much technical talk like last time.
I feel like it's tricky to avoid. It's
No, but
tricky to avoid.
Yeah.
I think it's important. Don't you can obviously find a bit of a balance, but still see how to hone into it, because that's the only way we're able to extend as much value as we can. We'll see how to turn it down. Where I'll just be prompting you and never, but for the most part, I think just have it your way. Then we can revise it as we go, in case we need to switch up something.
So what you can do though is you can just look at the parallels between the settings that are in the outliner and then what is available within Verse, and maybe what could possibly be the extension in terms of flexibility.
Okay. So if you come to our loop over here, the loop just enables it to go on and on and on until you stop it, right? So if you come to our loop over here, what we are telling our NPC is once you spawn, I want you to move randomly into this distance, right? We have already defined the distance up here in our floating, it's a float, decimal point. A float is like a decimal point, it's a data type. Aldrin, do you have a way you can describe a data type?
Basically, it's in and of itself, it's self-defining, because data type is simply what kind of data is this. For example, a float would be a numerical figure with a decimal point following it. An integer is a singular solid number like 1, 2, 100 or something like that. A float would be something like 100 point something, I guess. Yeah. So I think the float there is supposed to describe, is that in meters, or I saw there 1500.
1500. Where? Oh, here.
Yeah, let's go back up. Yeah, yes, I thought.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yes, it is in meters. Because even the other side, that's how they measure it. They measure it in meters. It's in meters. So you get to see that you're telling it will be moving X, Y, Z, just like the other side in our outliner. Maybe I can show it to you this side. When you click on an NPC and you come to its details. Sorry, my computer is a little bit slow.
I wonder why
Okay.
though.
So when you come to this side, you'll see the location. It has Y, Z, and X, right? So in your code, when you're writing it, you also have to cater for that when it comes to movement and location, okay? So that's why we are telling it when you're moving to X, Y, and Z, and then we come down this side, and then we tell it that when you're moving, you're going to move randomly left, you're going to move randomly forward, and you're not going to move upwards because we don't want it to move upwards. That's why the upward side, it's 0, 0.
That would be interesting though. Very interesting.
For it to be floating.
Okay, you're chilling and the NPC is just hovering above you. Like, oh, be crazy.
Right. So so there's the navigation, there's also some of the debugging that has been catered for within the code. And then I think something else that I would want you
When you say
to.
debugging, what do you mean?
Sometimes your code might run into an error, should I say. So some of the debugging will enable some of the things to appear on your screen, the code to appear on your screen telling you either to check. Now some of the debugging is to check whether if our NPC doesn't go exactly where you're telling it to go, I want to know why it hasn't reached, what has interrupted it, right? So it will appear as a log in Fortnite itself. It will appear in text and it will tell me what exactly was the issue.
So that's why you put
If
in the
that problem was becoming-
debugs section, so that it does that for you.
Yes.
Okay.
So once we have created our script like this, come back. Let me save it. Save. So once we save it, we come back to our UFN and we compile or build our VAS code. We compile. Compiling enables it to pull it this side into UFN. Okay.
VAS is it's like a separate program, yeah? It runs independent.
Well, because we create it it works hand in hand with VS Code. It's an IDE. It enables you to write code, and from there it gets pulled into our UFN.
Makes sense.
So it's still compiling. Once it's done compiling, it should be able to appear in our content drawer up here in our R&D map. So there is a Derek NPC down here. We drag it in.
Or does it have a device like last time? Or this time it's just
So
going straight to the NPC?
As an NPC, yeah, because
Okay.
we have created an NPC script. We haven't created that device. We have created an NPC script.
Makes sense.
So now that we have our behavior script set, what we're going to do, we're going to connect it to our character definition. And the way we define character definition, you're creating an asset so that it can be reusable as you go on. So you come down here, we had created a folder for it within our content drawer called NPCs. So you come here to intelligence, artificial intelligence, you create your character definition. Shall call it Derek. 3. So now that we have created Derek, open our character definition so that we now connect it to, we tell it the character type that we want. Earlier, as Aldrin was choosing the characters, we got to see that there were different types and he chose the guard, right? Us, we are going to choose custom. The reason why we're choosing custom is we want to customize it ourselves, right? We want it to be able to go with our code. If you choose any other guard, participant, wildlife, then it doesn't really connect to the code that you have created. Instead, you just do things separately. So now that we have chosen custom, we shall come down to character definition and we shall tell it that we want you to choose the VAS behavior character. And then in here, that's where we connect it to our Derek NPC. But as you can see, it still brings up all the VAS code that you have created, the VAS files. So you can reuse Aldrin if you want, the one that I had created, or I have an NPC behavior, right? But we're going to take the Derek. And then we have these modifiers. Now, the modifiers they come in hand if you didn't choose custom up here. If you chose guard, then you can come down here and modify, maybe you want to modify cosmetics or you want to modify health, give them a shield or make their health really good, like how you were seeing earlier when you was fighting with the NPCs. You can continue adding movement, navigation, though navigation was already catered for in our code, right? So once that is done, we have connected our script, we have chosen the behavior that we want, we save that.
You might have to remove those modifiers before.
Let me delete them. Then we save again. Okay, I've saved. I don't want to push fast changes.
What's the difference?
If I push, then I can sync and I get what Aldrin has worked on. That means some of the things will change.
I haven't pushed mine either, so it's okay.
So I can push mine.
What you might get,
I've just pushed.
it's okay. It's okay as long as you're not seeing a conflict thing at the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was
You'll be
trying to
good.
avoid.
Because another thing as well, we know we use again. People I keep on having to justify the whole utilization of UEFN and Fortnite is because of things like this. You get to have that experience of working with the developers in an environment designed for collaboration. So, for example, we talk about pushing changes, and now it's the two of us, me and Desire, are on different computers working on the same project. And what happens when conflicts arrive? How do you resolve those conflicts? I don't talk about me and Desire having an argument. I mean conflicts in the project itself. Where let's say I move an asset to the left and she moves it to the right. So how does the engine handle that? Yeah, so there's a conflict resolution section that lets you take care of such things. So I think right now we don't have any conflicts. I don't see any on my end, and I see our changes are actually going quite well. So let's see what her code yields.
Can I switch over to, because that means I'll have to get Desire's. Okay, let me just see what I can do there. Just come back to Aldrin real quick. Aldrin,
Session is still updating.
1 second.
Mm.
Oh, Aldrin, what are you seeing now? Okay, Desire, it's your Discord that's up. Okay, I've seen that. I'm just going to copy paste this.
A little cold. Could we take it maybe up to 30?
Yeah, Derek came. Derek, if you can hear us, man, come through, please. You came
Still,
and
you have my remote is right next to you.
Derek took the cells out. I don't know why. Dizzy,
Okay.
come SOS, bro.
What's that?
All right, I think now you can be able to launch a session now because I'm viewing it from Discord.
Oh, okay. The session is still updating. Once that is done, then it will open up. So right now, what we shall be able to see is that will be the NPCs like moving around.
Is this as per the code you've just issued to them?
Yeah. Yes.
Is this supposed to be doing anything different from what was previously done with Aldrin's preset code?
For now, it will be mostly navigating. It won't attack yet. Let's see. It has opened up actually.
It has opened up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, they are moving because I've told them to move around. There you go. One.
Oh yeah. Just turn this down a bit. The AC. Thank you.
Up to 30. So you see it moves in front. I've told it to move in front. It waits a bit, then it goes back to the point where it spawned from, because that's what the code has been telling it. Yeah. So that's quite it for now with the code that I had put in. It doesn't do anything.
Okay, so what I'd like to see is maybe as you conclude, if you go to the Vast Digest, the one that had a list of all the different functionalities you can get from different devices, we could go through what the Vast Digest looks like for NPCs, and then you can show us what kind of functionality you can actually get. Maybe is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. Let me see where. Usually, when you want to see something, you can easily go to that point because. Navigation. You want NPC behavior? Let's see. Let's see if I search directly and I see.
What if you use NPC instead?
Okay. I don't think it will be directly NPC behavior because
No,
it's
no, just NPC alone? Because I'm wondering, because I'm thinking they should be moving hand in hand, at least with that.
No, I think, okay, what this thing does, it has different functions, right?
Yeah.
Functions that you can borrow and bring into your code to tell the certain thing that you want to work on what to do. So I don't think they will have specifically NPC, as you can see, no results. That's why instead of NPC navigation, it's just navigation. So that if you want to also just make props float around or do a specific thing, you can use that navigation function to do it again, to do it as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that. So they're not NPC specific. Interesting. But yeah, please, just
But as you can see, this one is connected to the scene graph, some of the behaviors that came up when we searched up behavior. Let me just type in behavior again. I am yet to see what more we can really tweak on our end when it comes with traverse and the behavior bit. It has now reduced. It's mostly in scene graphs because even this is scene graph related.
you talked about a control click shortcut within. First, go back to the maybe Derek's NPC behavior script and just look through it. Just go through. So now in this case, the question remains: how would you add maybe guard functionality? How would you add
Now,
stuff like that?
okay, so if we're to come back this side, if we're to look at the character definition that we had created, there is a bit for the guard behavior up here, right? Is that what you are asking? Or are you asking how do you add it to the code?
Yeah, to the code, because at least here I think it's fairly straightforward, no?
I think what we can do is within our digest, let's see whether there's a function for alertness. What is it called?
The card?
Yeah. That alertness, the thing that enables them to be alert. Let's come to our outline now. Within our definition, our details. So in here, exploring timer, character definition. So why isn't it allowing me to do anything? Come on, the PC is a little slow. But if you can see in here on my screen, yeah, there is a bit where you can choose the NPC definition that you want. And I don't know why it's not allowing me to click anything. But then there is more. You can come in here and decide to either give it a spawner timer, the timer that you want. There are more functionalities within the details panel where you can get to do all that as well. So it goes hand in hand, a little bit of code and a little bit of the outline as well. Does that answer your question?
Alden, you're muted.
Oh yeah, sorry. I found something that gives us like an outline of that. So I think I'll have to share it with you, and then you can actually take a look at it. But I think that kind of answers the question. Essentially, for me, my thing is that you can actually achieve similar functionality.
Have you
in
guys
Bash.
responded to Jovan?
Jovan was asking.
Oh, Jovan, can you navigate obstacles? I think that's what I wanted to find out. Sorry, guys, I was off the PC.
With that's from Discord. Oh, sorry, that's from TikTok or
That's YouTube. That's YouTube. Oh, he just wants to know, can the NPC navigate obstacles?
Using this
Yes.
particular device, yeah, there's a device that lets you. There's so many devices, you guys. If I just get through to this section,
The navigation.
yeah. So short answer, yes. Long answer, if you have the AI navigation modification device, what happens is that you can set a path.
Maybe we can
Oh,
turn
what are we
your
looking at right now, by the way?
on.
Aldrin, we're back to you.
Aldrin's PC.
Oh, you guys
Yeah.
need to let me know when that happens.
Yes, yeah, I'm just in the editor. Just want to show you real quick where that can actually be found. So essentially, you have this navigation modification device, right? And when that device is enabled and attached to an NPC, you can set for it a route from point A to point B, and then it will just switch to the most appropriate movement mechanic for where it has actually been put to, or to get you across a point. So for example, it's going to, maybe jump onto a ledge, or jump over an obstacle or something like that for it to get to that particular point. So yeah, it can definitely navigate obstacles.
Okay. Let me see if there are any other questions in the chat. No, nothing really. Okay, so what are we looking at currently?
Desire, just concluding with the verse code. I don't know if you have any more remarks to add, Desire.
And I think we have covered most of what I had on my side.
Okay, we have about 9 minutes to spare. And if there's any questions or something.
Oh, Shane is on. Shane is my mentor. I can see him on YouTube. Hi, Shane.
Oh, he's on YouTube. Hello, Shane. Nice to. What have been meeting? I don't know that's meeting. Seeing. Anyway, yeah. So what we're looking at, I think I'm going to share this with you, Desire, later on. It's a much more in-depth approach at looking at doing most of these operations with Vast directly, because it's something I'm looking into, and also essentially working with events, different kinds of trigger volumes to see how to trigger different kinds of behavior at given points, and you can have maybe like a working demo that you can actually share with everyone else. Those yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if we've managed to finish quite early. We have most of this functional. We have your NPCs quite functional too. Let me try to sync changes on my end and see if I can actually get what you have done. Have you pushed all of yours?
Yeah, I pushed all of
Have
mine.
you checked in though? You pushed, but have you
There is
checked
no
in?
check changes actually. Have you noticed?
Yeah, I'm also seeing that.
Check-in changes is out.
Because we're not connected to revision control, eh? So you're going to have to do that manually, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, just I don't know if you can see my screen. So you're going to come down here to revision control,
Mm-hmm.
and then change the provider to a new revision control. And then we can accept settings. And then give it a second.
And the revision control.
Yeah, under revision
View
control.
changes or connect to revision control.
Connect to revision control. So essentially, you've been working kind of independently this whole time. But it's okay. It's fine. At least for the sake of the live stream, it helps things to flow without
So
having to do this.
provider should be the annual revision control.
Yeah, I'm sure you should now see. I have my check-in changes actually appeared. So I can check in my changes, you can check in your changes, then I'll be able to see exactly what you've been doing. So let me just check in changes.
Explains it.
Yeah, let's see, check in changes and then do.
Someone said Fortnite clone. It's actually not a Fortnite clone. We are just creating Fortnite map that would appear within Fortnite. Yeah. I'm already getting errors.
Okay. You're getting errors in the end? Yeah, wonderful. As you should. I mean, not as you should, but let me just check in, man, and then you see how to resolve the conflicts. I don't think there'll be so many conflicts, I think.
It's visible right now. The local changes have not been checked in. You have to check in your changes.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now. So it's validating my change list, and then afterwards it can actually push those.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot to do and to follow with. I want to see how most of these things translate when it comes to developing within Vanilla Unreal Engine. I feel like a lot of the work is done for us here, but there's a mountain of documentation ahead of us in terms of, building a similarly large experience or like a custom experience from scratch in Vanilla Unreal Engine and saying, okay, we're not going to rely on the guardrails of Fortnite and devices. We're going to, go and do this. But the good thing is both folks of the engine is that there is again very heavy documentation. Like whatever you want to learn, the developers have been,
Are you pushing
careful
something right
enough.
now?
Yeah, we're synchronizing our changes. We've been working a bit separately. So we had to turn on revision control and then we're trying to push that. But ideally, the majority of that material has actually been covered. We've looked at setting up NPCs, NPC behavior. We've seen what that looks like in Verse. And yeah, in the hopes of, moving on to the future, I think we can try to look at what most of these things look like when we go to maybe Vanilla Unreal Engine, whether there's similar training wheels for some of these things. What do devices look like when it comes to maybe Unreal Engine, and what is that expression made as? Maybe see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have like 4 minutes left. I don't know if you have any questions that we can go through.
That's that.
Let me see. Is there anything that you might want to comment on before we wrap up today?
Maybe the thing that I didn't talk about was connecting your character definition in your details panel. We weren't connecting it earlier. Other than that, not really. Nothing else.
What's that error? You muted, Aldrin.
There might come from the metahuman character, but let me see. Keeping this checked out. Yeah, it's coming from the landscape actor, and some of these are things that are already resolved. Yeah, let me just see if I can actually look and see what the log is like once it's done the test, because there you can actually go section by section and try to resolve any errors. Yeah, some of them come from this particular landscape. This is a landscape designed for Unreal Engine, so it has something called
The landscape in the background, yeah?
yeah,
Okay.
The landscape material on it is designed for Unreal Engine. So it has something called a physics material. A physics material determines things like friction and whatnot, and that is not supported within UEFN. So oftentimes, if there tends to be a conflict whereby UEFN is asking, what is this? What exactly is this?
So
So
sometimes
some
you
of the
can just skip them and just ignore them, I believe.
yeah, but there's options to let you fix and set particular properties to default, and that usually tends to solve most of these errors and get them out of the way. And I think we can actually have one of these built from scratch, if I'm not wrong. Though again, like you say, it's easy to, if you want to work backwards, you just build a thing in Unreal Engine, then come and see how much of it you can actually get to keep when you switch over to UEFN. Yeah. I think we can conclude as I sort of sort this out.
Okay. I think that makes sense. Yeah, I believe we've could you mute? There's a bit of an echo.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I believe we've come to the end of our stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for coming through. Really do appreciate those that have tuned in. We'll be here again next weekend, next Saturday, same time, on the Arudem platforms. That's YouTube and TikTok. And give us some feedback, guys. If there's anything you want us to work on, if there's anything you want us to check out, please do notify and let us know in the comment section. And once again, thank you for my fellow hosts. That's Aldrin and Desire. I think it was a really good tech today. We got to look at a few more interesting things, as we are also aiming at just covering a lot more down the road. This is our, I think we've marked a month, our fourth stream. Yeah, this is our fourth stream, and I believe there's a lot of evaluation we need to do going into the next four, and hopefully at the end of the day, we can improve the experience for those that are tuning and those that are watching. Yeah, like I said earlier, I appreciate you guys for jumping in, and from me, I don't know if there are any parting remarks from Desire, Aldrin, before we wind up.
No, the parting note for me is you guys have a good Saturday. Don't forget to experiment. These tools are all free. Actually, these tools are all free. If you think about it, you can always just download them, jump in, and then see what you can actually get to create.
Desire anything before wrap up?
Not much. Please like, follow, and come back next Saturday. We always meet Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Yeah.
Alright, guys. Quick stream today. Thank you so much for tuning in as per usual, and I'll see you guys next weekend. Peace.